Yes, we're past the point of no return, meaning when debt service payments squeeze out spending, like plaque in the circulatory squeezes out the flow of money, the flow of blood, it's the same kind of thing.
The man who called the 2008 crash just said that we are closer to the bubble popping than any point in your lifetime. No recession, no dip, the kind of top we have only seen twice in 100 years, 1929 and 2000. And his own bubble indicator, the same that flashed before the last crash, is screaming right now. In his words, we are one shock away from the pricking of the bubble, the moment the whole thing turns. So in this video, we're gonna do three things. One, break down the exact signals that Dalio is watching. Two, telling you exactly how close are we. And three, and this is the one that matters for your business, show you exactly what the people that got richer in that exact period of crash, what they actually did, because some of them did. So how can we prepare our business if something like 2009, 1929 is happening really close? Stick around for the third part, it's the most important. And if you are new here, subscribe. We break down AI CEOs every week to bring you value and prepare to this big AI shift and wave of innovation. Most people warning you about a crash, they never called actually one. Dalio called 2008. He runs Bridgewater, one of the biggest hedge funds in the world. He spent his whole career studying one thing, debt cycles, how they build, how they top out, and how they break. And his core idea is simple. Economies grows when credit grows faster than income. It feels great for years until the debt gets so big that you have to borrow just to pay the interest on what you already own. And that's the moment everything turns. And Dalio says on his own framework, we are there.
All great technology changes produce bubbles. And the reason they produce bubbles is because nobody can get it exactly right. Okay, you have to either spend a ton of money to capture your market share and so on, or, and don't worry about whether it's too much or not. Or you don't spend enough money and you lose your market share.
Every great technology makes a bubble. That's not a man who's care about the market. That's a man telling you exactly which part of the movie we are in. So what is actually watching right now? There are 5 signals, and when you see them all together, you will see that really will make sense. 5 signals, watch all of them all together. Any one of them on its own is noise. Together, they are the pattern that Dalio has seen before every major top. 1. Government debt. US public debt has passed $38 trillion. The interest alone, just the interest, is now over $1 trillion a year. Only the interest. That's more the entire defense budget of the US. And Dalio's line on this is brutal.
$7 trillion in spending, but only $5 trillion in revenue. Ray, are we already past the point of no return, that some sort of crisis is inevitable?
Yes, we're past the point of no return, meaning when debt service payments squeeze out spending, like plaque in the circulatory squeezes out the flow of money, the flow of blood, it's the same kind of thing. It can be measured.
When a country has to issue new debt just to pay the interest on its old debt, that's the spiral, and we are into it. True, valuation. There is a number called equity risk premium. Basically, how much extra you are paid for taking the risk of stocks versus holding safe government bonds. Right now, that gap has collapsed to almost nothing, around 0.4%. In plain English, you are taking an enormous risk for almost no reward. That only happen near the top.
We are right now rising closer to, not at, the same level in 2000 and same level in 1929.
And this is the honest part that most of the content is not talking about. Dalio is not screaming, sell everything tomorrow. It's just saying, we're high up right now. And this is the level where things crack the money printing. The Federal Reserve is ending its tightening and holding a $6.5 trillion balance sheet. Technical maneuver. Dario calls it pouring fuel on fire that already burning. Stimulus. It's a bubble. 4. Where the smart money is hiding. Gold has pushed over $4,000 and owns record highs, and central banks are buying them at faster pace ever recorded. When the people who print the money are buying quietly the one thing they can print, you should pay attention. 5. And that's the difference from the 2008. Last time the crisis came from the banks, mortgages, and Wall Street. Dalio says the next one won't come from the banks at all. It will come from governments.
It's entirely within the power of the Chinese government to basically say, let's put a blockade and let's have a week of no chips coming out. Let's just imagine that signal was given to the market, that all the stocks, AI stocks and everything would crash, the stock market would crash.
Yes.
Different trigger, same lessons. After 2008, we didn't fix the debt. After 2008, we didn't fix the debt. We moved off the banks onto government's balance sheet. And that's the bill that is coming now due. Quick one. If you find this useful, hit subscribe. The whole point of this channel is to keep you on the right side of the shift, exactly like this one. And now the question you actually came here for. How close are we? And here where I have to be pretty strict with you, because we are not doing doom for clicks in this channel. Dalio is not saying it crashes next Tuesday. Bubbles can run for a long time. The melt up, the final surge, can last for months, years. But here is the number that matters.
There's, quote, a bubble, and then there's the pricking of the bubble. And the pricking of the bubble happens when there's a need for wealth to be sold to get the money. The question is how long you let the bubble go before there's the pricking.
And here is the key. A bubble doesn't burst on its own. Burst when people are forced to sell, when wealth has to be turned back into cash, debt, taxes, a shock like that cheap blockade. So the crash isn't a date, it's a window. And the window is where you can still prepare calmly before everyone panics at once. Is open right now, which is exactly why the next part of the video is the whole point, because knowing a storm is coming is useless unless you know what the survivors actually did. Before the playbook, a quick one. You know the AI shift is moving fast, but you're still wasting hours pulling all the content together to build newsletter. Instead of actually iterating and speaking with client and creating content, Newsletterly fix that. Go from blank page to a curated newsletter in minutes. Get your time back to build your actual mode. Grab the lifetime deal in the description. Buy it once, own it forever. Alright, let's get into the playbook. And here's the things that nobody's telling you about the 2008. While the market fell about 50% and most companies were slashing almost everything, a handful of companies was growing, not survived. They were growing and they didn't get lucky. They did follow a pattern. 4 moves. 1. Netflix. In 2008, media companies were cutting everything. Netflix did the opposite. They poured money into things nobody else believed streaming. Between 2008 and 2009, their subscriber base jumped 60%. They met people exactly where the recession pushed them, at home, wanting cheap entertainment. The lesson for you: a downturn is when attention and talent get cheap. Founders who lean into it while everyone else is freezing out, they come from the other side owning the category. True, Amazon. Amazon spent the crisis building. While retail was collapsing, they scaled the things that became AWS, the cloud backbones. The half of the internet runs on top of it right now. They were building while everyone else were panicking. And your version to it, in a downturn, build the system, the assets, the audience, the things that pays out for the next 10 years, not the things that pays you this month, having a long-term view horizon. 3. Hitsy. Recession don't kill demands, they move it. When money get tight, people wanted cheaper and they wanted extra income. Etsy gives them both: a marketplace for low-cost handmade goods and a way for ordinary people to start earning on the side. They were growing in the exact condition that killed others. And your move? Ask what new, painful problem the downturn creates for your audience and solve that. The crisis writes you a new product brief for free. 4. Keep marketing. In every recession, almost everyone cut marketing first, which means the attention gets cheaper than it's been in years. And the few who keep showing up own the entire conversation for you. Creator, a founder, a one-person business, a small SME. This is the unfair advantage. When the noise drops, your voice gets louder for free. So put the playbooks together, build cash, and keep your option open now before you need it. Double down on the bet others are too scared to make and build the long-term assets while inputs are cheap and solve the new problem the downturn create, and never ever go silent. That's how a downturn becomes the best things that ever happen to your business. And here what makes this moment different from 2008. In 2008, doubling down meant raising money, hiring people, taking on risk. Today, you can do all of 4 moves with a fraction of the cost and a team of 1, plus AI. The leverage that a solo founder has right now is the things that didn't exist in the last crisis. You can build the asset, run the marketing, serve the new problem cheaper than any company in history. So there is a huge opportunity. The bubble Dalio is warning about is real. But for the founder who is ready, it's not right. It's the biggest opening in a decade. So here is the takeaway. The man who called 2008 says we are racing towards 1929 and 2000 levels. He's saying we are past the point of no return on the debt, and the bubble burst the moment people are forced to sell. You can't control any of that, but you can control what you are doing. What kind of people are you? The one that use the playbook the last winners use or not? Build the cushion, make the bold bet, build the asset, solve the new problem, stay loud, and use AI to do all of that for almost nothing. The window where you prepare calmly instead of panicking late is open right now. So act now. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you to the next one. Bye-bye.